Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I am legal counsel for the Department of Corrections, and I am here tonight along with my Chief Inspector, Robert Callow, and Inspector Bobby Brown in regards to Bill 5747. We are here testifying in support of this bill, and I first want to thank Representative Canario, Representative Jackson, Representative Johnson, Representative Casey, and Representative Solomon for introducing this bill regarding the current status of our inspectors at the Department of Corrections. I'm going to speak very briefly, and then I'm going to hand it off to my inspectors, who are really the subject matter experts. What I do want to tell you is that currently, the Office of Inspections, there are 5 men and women in the unit. They are essentially the detectives for the Department of Corrections. They do not, however, have peace officer status. So what that means is they do not have the powers of arrest. They also do not have the same ability to carry firearms as other law enforcement officers do. Now, I would point out that the peace officer statute actually gives correctional officers the power to arrest and carry firearms because they're listed under the statute. But for some reason, the statute does not list inspectors. Our inspectors are the detectives of the Department of Corrections. They are schooled in law enforcement, all of the levels of law enforcement as anybody else. They know how to investigate crime scenes, they know how to interrogate, they know about gang violence, and their job is the same as any law enforcement officer. Their job is to investigate criminal activity by staff, visitors, contractors, as well as individuals who are incarcerated. Internal affairs divisions were created starting in the 1970s, recognizing the fact that crime does take place in a prison setting. And that is the reason that we have internal affairs, also known as the Office of Inspections. The Department of Corrections is the only corrections agency I am aware of where our inspectors do not have peace officer status. That hinders their ability to do their jobs, which obviously then hinders public safety. So we are asking this committee to consider 5474 in its passage to give our inspectors this ability. I would also like to point out that RIBCO, the largest union at the Department of Corrections, is not opposed to this legislation. President Ferruccio indicated that if he were opposed, he would be here today to tell us also. So at this point, I'm going to pass it on to my inspectors to explain what they do.